Hey, welcome back to Larry's Brick at End video timer started. I think Bill Page might have identified the issue, and that is you got to have the same number of layers. You should have the same number of layers around the core to be able to decide whether one layer overlaps the other, to have the option of going in both directions. But I might just disprove this in a second here. I'm not sure. This wall right here, give me 1 second here. See, I don't have, make that 3 inches right there. This one here, and define this layer as 2. I don't know if I'm going to dispute what he said or not. I'll see in a second. God, fucking computer, man. And it's the number of wall layers. Here it is right here. I've got 2 wall layers. I've got plywood right here. And now here's the question: Can this light brown overlap that dark brown plywood siding? If what Bill said is true, I don't think. That's correct. You can't. I can't have. I want that light brown to overlap that dark brown, but I can't do it. What about this wall here? Is both of those U? Yeah. I think it's F12. Suppose I switch it over. I want the light brown to overlap the dark brown. Suppose I flip layers, and now they'll have the same number of layers. See there. Now the light brown that has the same number of layers, U. And I bet I can make this one now go through. F12. Maybe I have to undo this one. I want the dark brown to overlap the light brown this time. I want the dark brown to overlap yeah, there it is right there. See that? Because that has the same number of layers. If it doesn't have the same number of layers, then it's not going to overlap. You don't have the option of overlapping, and it doesn't matter how thick the layers are. And so it is. What is it? The fewer the layers. If you don't have enough layers, it's not going to overlap. If it doesn't have enough layers, it's not going to overlap. And here it is, right? Why is that siding right there so thin? U, wall type, define, make this 2 inches. Okay. So, yeah, that's going to be, fuck this, God. Oh, it's a different color, yeah. So the more layers, if you have the extra layers, it's going to overlap. The one with more layers is going to overlap. Is that what Bill said? The wall you want the end exposed has to have the same amount of layers on the exterior layer side of the main layer. Maybe I said it. The one with the most layers, if they have the equal number of layers, you can overlap either one. If you don't have the same number of layers, the one with the most layers is going to overlap the other one, and I think that makes sense. And here it is right here in plan view. You can see what's going on there. Right? Yeah, and this is a very good visual representation of what's going on. It's these lines that have got to meet, These lines have to meet. And if you don't have another layer right here to meet or whatever, then you're going to get that screw up. You got what I'm saying? And so I don't know if you saw the Glenn Woodward glass on railing video, but when I had an exterior wall with siding on both sides. It was an exterior wall with siding on both sides, and just out of habit, I always put plywood on both sides and then my siding. And I guess I'm glad I do that. I don't know why I did it, but I just did it. And now, so here's a wall right here. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can figure this out. Let's see. Define. I want this to be plan material. I want that to be pine honey brown. Fine. It's good. How about, oh, Scott, just pick a color, will you? How about red brick? That's always shows up good. Perfect. So one layer has red brick on this thing right here. Now the question is, which, oh God, I got it. There you go. Check that out. The most layers, the more layers wrap around the ends. You don't have the choice, okay? Now suppose I took this wall here, Control C, Control V, and stuck it right there. Now which, define, let's make this very clear. Plan, red brick. Okay, now both of these have the same number of layers, okay? Now does the red brick wrap around or does the red brick does? Why does the red brick wrap around? Suppose I reverse the layers. Oh, no, I know why. I know. Do I know why? It's the one on the. I don't know why. Hang on. Yep. Look, this is the wall right here. It's the material that's on the outside of the wall. That's the one that's going to wrap around. It's the material on the outside of the core that's going to wrap around. So here's a question for you. How about if I do this? Control C, Control V, stick it right there, and I'm going to spin this wall around. And I think this time I'm going to get the red brick on one, and I'm going to watch this. Hopefully these two things stick. Center it. See if it. Yeah. Yes. There you go. You see what I just did there? It's that material that's on the outside face of what's considered the outside of the wall. That's going to wrap around. There you go. In this kind of situation here, you know, with an end wall condition, I got to think about this. Hold on. Okay, let me sum this up. With a wall that just ends like this, it's the material that's on the outside face that's going to wrap around. I mean, that makes sort of sense, right? I guess it does. And it's going to, in fact, this layer does not go through here. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if that, I mean, oh boy. I don't know. I can't even think anymore. We got that. But here's the key. With walls, you really need to have the same number of layers, because suppose I put a interior wall right here on this thing. Now I think, of course, the brick. Yep, there. The siding. Yep. The siding went through. Oh boy. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, wait a second. Have you ever had this condition before? Check this out. I'm going to redefine my interior wall. Insert. I don't know what I'm doing. I want to put it where insert. There. Point 1. Delete that layer. Point 1. So it's insulation, air gap, whatever. I don't care what it is. In fact, I might make it 0 in a second. But this is killer, because see, once in a while I get that plywood showing through. Watch this. There you go, mother. That's it. With the interior walls, whenever you have an I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but where the plywood comes through, it's because you don't have that extra layer. So here's the deal, I think. I think on every wall, somehow you got to make it work so that every wall in your whole library, I think, needs to have the same number of layers for this very exact situation right here. Because now if I want, because that's sort of you define, and people say don't use 0 layers. I hear that. But maybe that's why, maybe you can have 0 layers if you know what you're doing. Watch this. That's it, man. And now watch this. I want that wall to go through on both sides. I want that wall to go through on both sides. There it is. That's it. Hey, look, I hope when Cheap comes out next with X6, I hope these elevations are auto-updatable and I don't have to open up a view and close it up. And Perry and other people complain about that, the graphics are almost there. And they're right. They're almost there. But there's a couple little things, little glitches where you have to go in there to your layout and edit layout a little bit because you get an extra line here or there. Whole lot better than version 10 when I first started. Version 10 was a mess, believe me. But this might be one of the problems right here. Right there. That is bitch nice. Now it goes through. Oh man, Larry, what a great question this was. Now there's just one other thing I want to show you, and I'm gonna control new. Oh, timer start. I'm gonna finish this up real quick. I want to show you one other thing. Straight foundation wall, and I don't know. This is something that I did a while back and a video on it, and I couldn't explain it. Shift R. Wall type is 8-inch CMU block wall. Okay. I don't want a ceiling in this. I don't want a ceiling in this because I want to show you something. Oh boy, that's a mess. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, I want some openings in here. Okay, I want to pass through. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Shift G. Now watch. Oh. I just got passed through this block wall. Okay, that's all I've got. Did I get that window? Casing, suppress, lintel. I don't want to use. Okay, now. Oh, it's not what I expected. I will tell you this, and I forgot how I did it now. But here's a question. See this material? See these lines right there? On the plan that I did, on some of these openings, they would go through. I mean, they'd wrap around, and you'd see the mortar joint on that side. F6. You think it has something to do with the rough opening size? 1, 2, 3, 4. Add for rough opening. 0, 0, 0. See if that made a difference. Nope, that didn't make a difference. Now I'm going to try one more thing and see if that makes a difference. Straight interior wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I looking at the wrong side? Maybe. This is weird. I'm just telling you that make that a non-room def. Maybe if I make that, I can't repeat it now. I want it to be room def. I want it to be. I don't know if I want it to be room def. It's not happening now. I'm just telling you though that I did another. Okay, now you can see the brick going through there. Oh, you can. Yeah, no, you can see it. I don't know. Anyway, it's not important. Okay, that's the end. Great video, great question, Larry. Thank you very much. This is great. That's the end.